All actors want to be remembered, I think, for the truth they bring. What else, what are you going to do? For the lie? Acting is not a lie. If your motives are honest, so is your work. You know, so these are commitments you have to make as an artist. And if it rains shit or gold, that's the gamble. So people wonder why I don't go gambling when I'm in Nevada or somewhere. I say because I am a gambler. I say, what do you mean you're a gambler? You don't gamble too much. I've gambled with my life. I've dived into the pool of fun but uncertainty. And that's what makes me tick. What makes you tick? I guess it goes back to my grandmother's. When I used to stay at my grandmother's and all the family would gather, she had a hallway with what they used to call portieres, which were big heavy curtains from the 1920s or something. And they had a cord you pulled and the curtains would open. So I kind of was doing a one-man show there, you know, announcing myself, opening the curtains, closing it and all that, when people were conversing with other matters, and they always said, what's this kid getting on my nerves for? Well, he needed attention. You need attention. If you don't know who you are, you're finding out. Anyway, so I would do impersonations like from Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin singing. Did all that stuff, and sometimes I had their attention. When I didn't have their attention, I knew that I had to work on that particular aspect of my one-man show.
Trish, my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
And then I decided I wanted to be a writer and a poet. I was always a poet. And then I learned I could perform my poetry and all that, and I realized the dramatic power of poetry. Instead of it just being a still, horizontal, nothing going nowhere, a boring exhalation of words, I realized that it's very alive. It's alive. And my love of words and of the silences between words just kind of pulled me into wanting to be an actor.
I won't tell if you don't let your parents know I scared you to death.
And that was in Northern California, but I was still thinking of coming to Hollywood because I like film. I like theater and film. But I decided to go back to Baltimore, and I entered a PhD program at Johns Hopkins, but I was not a candidate for such. I got in on the merits of my writing and spent a year there. And I had a good friend from Johns Hopkins who I didn't know then, but I met him at Barney's Beanery when Barney's Beanery was a cool place instead of a franchise, whatever it is now. He told me, he said a friend of mine's directing a film, a horror film. You interested? I said, oh yeah, wow, what? And he said, well, give me a picture, resume or something, or I'll talk to her and see if you can audition. So he talked to her, I auditioned, and I got the part. Now, the reason I'm not using my name, Rigg Kennedy, in Slumber Party Massacre was a big mistake, because for one thing, I had heard that Quentin Tarantino's favorite horror film was Slumber Party Massacre. So I would like Quentin Tarantino to have seen my work, because I think I must have done something good in the movie, because Amy Jones, the director, writer, ace editor, hired me for another film with Ali Sheedy.
Mr. Contant will be home all weekend and he'll look in on you.
Hi, Mr. Contant.
Don't worry, I won't let the girls get in any trouble.
I played Mr. David Contant, the next door neighbor, and my character was a gardener, and he used to like to garden at night, which added to his suspicious character. And often, after I read the script, whenever I was out there, it's almost like the day I got married, I washed dishes just to focus. So when I'm out there tending to my plants, it's a part of my satori, my escape, or my just floating away. But somehow would rise the idea that somebody might be behind me and just cut my head off.
Aha, number 54.
I didn't know who was going to get killed at once, because I'd be over there having a sandwich, I think, and looking over there, and somebody was about to get electrocuted in somebody's pool. I think we shot it all at one location in Venice. and that was something else. Don't remember if we went anywhere. Oh yes, I remember being in the trunk of a car and driven off somewhere with blood all over the place. We all got pretty close together, you might say, actually. The actresses in that movie were just gorgeous, beautiful women. And one who could have played Jackie Kennedy, she, later, I worked with her in a Linda Ronstadt video called What's New? How is the World Treating You? And I see her at a party. It looked like we had an argument, and then we're looking at each other. It's almost like that South Pacific, "Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger," and across a crowded room. And we both looked at each other, and it was a really well done. The camera work was exquisite. And so we kind of looked like what, and we both sort of walked toward each other, embraced in a dance, and did this, "What's new? How is the world treating you?" And that's the only romantic thing I think I've ever done in film, and you know, except for all the porno I did starting out, which I haven't mentioned yet. No, I haven't done porno, thank God.
Oh, hi, Mr. Content.
I was just leaving.
It was a wonderful experience, and I'm glad they're bringing it back on Blu-ray because I am going to be most anxious to see it. This is called The Cosmic Alley, in celebration of my son and the old man I saw and his little movements and the trip I was on, literal trip, you know, because I was there, I was playing the Blue Danube Waltz when he was born, La Boyere way, and in the darkness, not the bright lights, and he wasn't spanked on the ass. And I thought he would grow up to be a common kid, but he actually grew up to be quite an athlete and quite the opposite of what I thought that birth would have intended. Space, dust, clouds, spinning, whirling, gushing gases, dancing, throbbing divinely, exploding indefinites, definitely longer, farer than I dare count to kingdom come. Galaxies of fingers, dice tossing umpteen zillion times time into the all-encompassing cosmic arms of everyone who lives or has ever dared sustain breath in the eternal cage. Darkness, shattered by darkness, swan dives in. Before you, before me, before and after form, ever unending, everywhere, always something, nothing, before the sound of sound is heard, is nothing. Unbeknownst to unbegotten, primordial algae about to change the ticking of time. Light years, soulless centuries, sand grains somewhere south of a sun. Atom and evening orgasm. Ba la 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 la. Ba la 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 la. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Space, quaking quasar, a momentum of monster and continent coagulating in masses of gases, bumping, bursting, blowing blindly against the no walls of eternal ether in the time of no time. Floating through space, begging for breath, super circus sirens bewail what things may come of all this red, hot, blue, screaming, twisting nonsense. Through the ever-widening tunnel, falling forward, sans thought, direction, or a wonderful whisper. Born, dying, mystery mad, forever eons deeply dropping. Ba, ba, black hole within a black hole, within a black hole, without. That this flesh, these bones, these eyes, these ears, this speech was once not this being, but being is now, was ever and ever will be, inside and outside the unsaid and unseen. By God or by golly, it's as if the weeds of time were being sifted through a giant strainer. Holy Ghost! Holy cow! Holy hell! Heaven, help us! Help us! Help us! Help us! Help us! No flaming ball yet flashing this darkness, void, whirling, ionized in idiocy, atomic bombed in doubt. Cosmic clowns toss and tumble in the ever-growing hole. Dark, cold silence, neither known nor ever imagined. Reeling, spiraling nausea, nebulae, from dust to dust to dust again. Who? What? Why? When? Where? What for? Unpatented invention, unchecked. Space questions the time bomb. That was the Cosmic Alley. Thank you for stopping by. Is this the end of an event or the beginning of something new?
Go easy on the Mally Wally.